The Money Talk Radio Network is WSBR Boca Raton, W280DU Boca Raton, and W245BC Lauderdale Lakes.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Andy Field. 13 dead, including the shooter in Virginia Beach, as another week ends with an American mass shooting.
Of the dozen people shot and killed at the Virginia Beach Municipal Complex, all but one was a city employee. The suspect, Dwayne Craddock, was a co-worker employed by the city of Virginia Beach 15 years and killed in a gun battle with police.
This was not what is traditionally a police-involved shooting. This was a long-term, large gunfight.
Chief James Cervera said additional weapons were found in Craddock's home and at what he called the horrific crime scene. Aaron Katursky, ABC News.
Markets still reeling from the president's planned Mexico immigration import tax. ABC's Jonathan Carl.
The president decided to act after a group of more than 1,000 migrants crossed the border illegally. Mexico has taken advantage of the United States for decades, Trump declared via Twitter. Time for them to finally do what must be done.
Still no confirmation of a report that North Korea has executed 5 top government officials involved in U.S. nuclear talks.
Secretary of State Pompeo says the U.S. government is investigating, but a few weeks ago he told ABC News that the next time he negotiates with North Korea, his counterpart is likely to be someone else.
ABC senior national correspondent Terry Moran. Chicago officials releasing documents detailing Empire actor Jussie Smollett's attack claims.
Shifting stories from Chicago's top prosecutor, who just weeks after Jussie Smollett's indictment on disorderly conduct charges recused herself from the investigation. State's attorney Kim Foxx saying she stepped aside because of false rumors she was related to the Empire actor. Text messages released Friday show she didn't want to recuse herself, but did so at the direction of an ethics officer who has since resigned. Fox recused herself on February 13th, citing communication she had with a Smollett family member during the investigation. Dave Packer, ABC News.
And you're listening to ABC News.
Uber has been doing a ton of great things this last year, and Uber Rewards is going to make you love Uber even more. With Uber Rewards, you'll get rewarded for things you're already doing. Every eligible dollar you spend on rides and Uber Eats earns you points that unlock amazing benefits, like Uber Cash, complimentary surprise upgrades, flexible cancellations, and so much more. Your life is about to get more rewarding thanks to Uber. Get all the info and terms at uber.com/rewards. That's uber.com/rewards.
Hi, I'm Captain Obvious, and every day thousands of people book trips on Hotels.com. Trips you will later hate like. What's a hate like? It's when you like a picture of Kyle pretending to put his fingers on top of another national monument, even though you kind of hate it. It's not that you hate Kyle, it's that you hate that he's there and you are sitting in a bathroom stall at work. Don't hate like Kyle's trip. Book your own with Hotels.com and get rewarded basically everywhere. Hotels.com. Be there, do that, get rewarded.
Julie Leslie, COO, The Howard Group.
Oscar was my 4th interview for Director of Operations. It was overwhelming running the day-to-day and being the COO as well, so I posted the job on LinkedIn. His profile was impressive, but what really connected with me was how passionate Oscar was about something as logical as operations. We started discussing Excel, that led to process flows, databases, agile development. When the interview became a geek out session, I knew we had to hire him. I don't know how we would have found Oscar without LinkedIn Jobs.
Find your next hire with LinkedIn Jobs. You'll reach people you won't find anywhere else. We look beyond job titles to learn who you're looking for. Then we match people with the right skills and experience to your role.
I thought we were looking for a Director of Operations, but we were really looking for an Oscar.
Start hiring with LinkedIn Jobs today. Go to linkedin.com/entertainment and get $50 off your first job post. That's linkedin.com/entertainment for your $50 off. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm Captain Obvious, and every day thousands of people book trips on Hotels.com. Trips you will later hate like. What's a hate like? It's when you like Becky's picture of another perfect waterfall, even though you kind of hate it. It's not that you hate Becky, it's that you hate that she's there, and you're at work listening to Lisa talk about her alleged food allergies. Don't hate like Becky's trip. Book your own with Hotels.com and get rewarded basically everywhere. Hotels.com. Be there, do that, get rewarded.
We make it our business to know your business. South Florida's Money Talk Radio.
South Florida's Money Talk Radio.
WSBR.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
15 seconds there.
Stand by all cameras, stand by videotape, stand by slow-mo.
Stand by to roll videotape in 5.
And roll tape. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take tape.
It's a new weekend and a new start. Now, this week's edition of Pearls of Health. In its 25th year on the air for this popular program, a great way to take a health break with Richard Pearl and give some thought to your nutrition. Here's important health news right up to the minute. An hour of sensible talk and ideas for good living. From South Florida's most innovative health food store and restaurant at 8271 Sunset Strip in Sunrise, the leader in health talk radio. Call in with your questions now at 888-721-0074. Now, here's today's edition of Pearls of Health, brought to you by Simply Natural, with your host, Richard Pearl.
June 1st, 2019, and this show is called Pearls of Health, and I'm delighted to be with you today. We've got two guests coming on talking about a product that is absolutely mind-boggling. I've talked about it in the past over the last couple of months, but we're going to get even into more detail with these two people who we've had on before. It's about Carbon 60, properly made, and other supports that go along with it. It is, to me, the most impressive item I've ever seen in 25 years of being in this business. And I think that once you hear what these two gentlemen have to say, specifically, or most importantly, the scientist who's developed this version of it, I think you're going to go, oh, my God, I need this. I hope you say that, because if you don't, I don't know what to tell you. This is like the pot of gold, and it's being presented to you not on a golden platter, but on a silver platter through the waves of radio. Anyway, so that'll be on in a couple minutes. But before we get into that, those of you just tuning in, the show is called Pearls of Health. We're on every Saturday live from 12 to 1, and the show's designed to make you think, to tell you the truth, to give you clarity, to give you opportunity to see things better, and to get rid of the fear that affects your life by doing something active, proactive, in charge, where you set the table, not have somebody present a table to you and you have to sit at it and deal with what's on the plate. So this show is going to empower you, and today's show in particular. Now, today is June 1st, and I'm going to get into why that's important in a second. We're also sponsored in part by our health food center, Simply Natural, which has been in the same location for over 22 years, and we have an organic restaurant as well, which has been in the same location for over 14 years. They're in Sunrise, right next to each other. The restaurant's sit-down, take-out. It's completely organic. It's Wi-Fi friendly. You can sit and relax, do whatever you want for as long as you want. And the store part is, we're both open 7 days a week. But if you want to reach the store, and you'll find products there you will not find anywhere else, you can call us at 954-741-4045. Again, 954-741-4045. The restaurant number is 954-742-8384, and we're open 7 days a week. Now, today is June 1st, and this is a good month. We're changing at the end of the month. We have the summer is officially kicked in, but this is a cleansing month, and I've been looking forward to today so much, and I'm going to talk about a couple different things related to cleansing, but this is something that I'm starting today, and I've already started part of it, but this is something everybody can do. And I was just talking on the phone with a friend of mine named Don. He's done a 48-hour fast, and he feels terrific. And I'm not suggesting a fast, but what I'm going to talk about is things that you can do, simple things that you could do over the next week or any week that you choose that will have dramatic impact on your overall health. We focus so much on what could go wrong with us. How about what could go right with us? How about if you did something different, you would get different results. You might actually get all the happiness that you're not getting now, and instead of complaining, you'd be actively doing something. So here's the cleanse, or part of it. And there's going to be more things that I'm going to be doing, but because of time constrictions, I'll talk about some of it this week and further next week. one of the most important things that anybody can do is clean their organs. If you're over 25, 30 years old, and maybe even younger with the way people eat today, but particularly if you're over 25, 30 years old, and if you're sitting at your 40s or 50s or even beyond, man, you've done a lot of damage to your tissue. And part of it is not even damage in the sense of you being abusive. It's just cells divide, and the original copy is better than the current copy. So the cells don't replicate as perfectly, and your body has to do more to get them back into the line. And it doesn't, you just don't do as good a job. That's why you don't look 20 anymore if you're, 40, 50, 60 years old. There's a reason for that. So one of the most important things you can do is I have at the store at Simply Natural a 7-day organ cleanse. And this works, this can aid with liver, gallbladder, kidney, and bile passage. And I also have a straight liver cleanse, too. But this one in particular is really nice because it's 7 days. It's easy to do. You take a scoop and 8 ounces of water, and you do it once a day. I do it late at night because your liver repairs at night. But you just do it once a day. It's an easy cleanse. It's not going to make you run to the bathroom, unexpectedly or anything like that. But it starts cleaning your liver. Think about all the stress, the anger, the frustration that goes in your life. That goes to the liver. In Chinese medicine, the liver governs the muscles. So if you have high blood pressure, or if you have artery issues or bowel issues or anything like that, or digestive issues, guess what? There are a lot of muscles involved there. So working on the liver will help that. And, of course, so much of our energy, our life force, comes from the kidneys and the adrenals, and that's on so many people. Fear goes to the kidney, and so many people are so fearful. So taking a 7-day organ cleanse is remarkably helpful. Again, it can aid with gallbladder, kidney, bile passage, liver support, all that. And that's something that you can do for as long as you like or as short as you like, but we sell them in 7-day packages. It's easy. It's once a day. So that's part of it. Another thing that really goes well with this is a lymphatic cleanser. And we have Willard's water. And Willard's, we have other ones, but I like Willard's water as an example. And I had firsthand situation with it when I was opening up this business 25-plus years ago. I was chemically poisoned through minwax. It got into my bloodstream. It's harmful or fatal if swallowed, but I didn't swallow it. It just got into my bloodstream through cuts in my leg from playing sports. And we were just staining wood and got sloppy. So anyway, my legs doubled in size. They turned purple. They scratched till they bled. I had welts from the groin down, basically. Not a happy time. And I'm about to open a health food store at that point. So one of the things that I did that really made a big difference was taking Willard's water. I also did some colonics and other things, and I healed in 6 days instead of what the doctor was thinking 30 days plus with antibiotics and steroids. I wasn't interested in any of that. I was opening up a health food store a week later. I wasn't about to, do poison and then say, go take something natural. So I did the natural approach. The Willard's water made a huge impact on me. And again, I resolved my issue in 6 days. Now, I didn't only use that, but the point is it was a big lymphatic cleanse, and the lymph system cleans the blood. It's really, really important if you're doing an organ cleanse that you do a lymphatic cleanse. So I would use Willard's water. We have other lymphatic cleanses, but I would certainly do that. Separately, I'm doing a Candida cleanse because if I'm going to go to this effort, why not just go hog wild and cut out the yeast that's going through your body, going through your intestines, getting into your bloodstream. And so it's really an important thing to do a Candida cleanse. So I have a product, several different ones, but one in particular that I'm using that's a great Candida flush, and I've seen it work with so many people, so we have that. Then it's very important to take probiotics and prebiotics. Now, during this period of time, I'm doing 2 different probiotics. I'm doing a 5-day 400 billion probiotic, and I'm doing Saccharomyces boulardii, and I'm also taking a prebiotic. A prebiotic feeds the good bacteria. So I'm doing this combination. I'm going to load up with good bacteria, which will crowd out the Candida, but it'll also keep bad bacteria at bay. And the nice thing about Saccharomyces boulardii is that it works against Candida as well. So I'm going to do those things. And then along with that, and again, some of this I'm already doing. And one of the other things is I'm going to be doing a lot of greens, powdered greens. Now, this is very important. I have a variety of different ones here. I'm also going to do fermented beet powder, And I'm going to mix all this stuff together so that I'll be doing a deep cleanse. And the last thing that I'll mention today, because we have our guest on the line, is that I'm going to use, and this is a one-day cleanse. This will clean out your bowels, something fierce, and it's called Powerhouse Cleanse. It's by Green Valley. And this stuff here, it tastes nasty, but within an hour of taking it, in my case less, you'll start pooping for like 2 hours. So this is going to cleanse you out really nice, especially if you're doing an organ cleanse. And it doesn't matter if you go to the bathroom a lot or not. This is just good to do. It just dissolves everything, and it does it in one day. Just take it early in the day, otherwise you don't want to be taking this at night. That's all I'll say. So if you're taking just a quick recap, you do the 7-day organ cleanse, you do the lymphatic cleanse, you do the probiotics and prebiotics. Again, I'm going to go really aggressive here. Candida cleanse and the Green Mountain cleanse, and then some greens. And as soon as I'm done with this, I'll do a parasite cleanse because I want to clean up everything, then do the parasite cleanse, do that for about 15 days, wait 5 days, do it again. And this way you're doing a deep, deep, deep cleanse. And of course, during this period of time, I'm going to eat very, very clean. So I weighed myself this morning. I know what I weigh. I'll be curious to see what happens over the next week to 2 weeks. But this is going to detox so much in my body. And that's the whole point. It's June 1st. Why not do that? You know, this is a rebirth month, and you might as well rebirth. The last thing that I'll say about this is that there's emotional things that you've got to address. And there's things like Ethereum Black, which is monatomic minerals, and that gets rid of, like, you know, energy blocks that we have in our body that attach itself to different parts of our body. It's just like, you know, when sometimes people get really stressed out, they get a lump in their throat or their intestines feel queasy or something like that. Well, those are energy blocks that go into muscle. Ethereum Black is really helpful for that. People who have a lot of stress in their neck and shoulders. Again, the Ethereum Black might be helpful for that. So we have that. And last thing I'll say, and I want to thank a friend of mine. You know, I pride myself on my integrity, but even me sometimes slips up. Not in the integrity, but how I disseminate it. So somebody entrusted me in something that I took very seriously, but I didn't communicate well enough with him. So he got mad at me, and he was right. Because while I was doing the right thing, I wasn't communicating with him, so he didn't know. He didn't know that I was doing the right thing because I was just letting things happen, and I was I just didn't talk to him. I just wanted to wait until the thing was finalized, and I was going to tell him. Now, I knew what I was doing, but he didn't. And so communication is very important. Because I didn't do the proper communication, I was letting him down. He entrusted me in something that was very, very important, and I was living up to it. However, I wasn't communicating what I was doing, so he didn't know what was going on, so he got very upset, and he was completely right. And he was very mad at me, and I've been a friend of his for 20 years. So I learned a little about consideration that I thought I knew, but I didn't. And sometimes, even if you're doing something that's well-intentioned, even if you're doing it right, you still have to communicate well with other people because they don't know what you're doing. And just because you know, unless they have telepathy, it isn't going to help. So he was very forgiving of me. I drove down last night really late to apologize and to make things good. But more importantly, he honored me by honoring our friendship, and I truly appreciate that because friendships are difficult, and they have their ups and downs, but integrity matters, and I learned something that I thought I knew, but I didn't, so I appreciate that from him, and I wanted to say that out loud. Now, we've got to go to a break. We're going to come back with two really fine guests, people that are significant in a supplement that will change people's lives. So we'll go to break. We'll talk about that afterwards. Anyway, you're listening to Pearls of Health on WSBR, AM 740, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back.
As if you needed another reason for eating healthy, here's one, the unique Simply Natural Cafe. Alongside Simply Natural Health Food Healing Center in Sunrise, has been named one of the top 10 health restaurants in Broward County. Food-conscious folks already know the cafe for its full sit-down dinners, delicious meals, and their entirely organic menu. So if you're a vegetarian, vegan, or prefer raw dishes, they've got your back. If you choose meat, try the grass-fed dishes. And when it comes to fish, at Simply Natural Cafe, all fish dishes are positively safe to eat. Your meal is prepared individually, so you can be sure of the freshest flavors and ingredients, just like Mom would make if she knew how. Enjoy meals free of chemicals, antibiotics, hormones, and other potentially dangerous substances. Freshest vegetables, made from scratch soups, and wait till you try the desserts. Simply Natural Cafe, simply the best for you. Dine in or take out, right next to Simply Natural Health Food Healing Center in Sunrise. Lunch and dinner 7 days, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. For lunch or dinner, give them a call, 954-742-8384. Online at esimplynatural.com.
25 years. It's been 25 years. Simply Natural is in its 25th year in business. How many companies can boast of providing services under the same ownership and management for 25 years? Simply Natural Healing Center in Sunrise has been voted the best health food healing center in South Florida. Reason? Focus on wellness. How'd they do it? Simply by offering only the most reliable products for health, fitness, and good living. Your optimal health is their mission. Their experienced staff is backed by the most extensive product mix, educational materials, access to world-class scientists, educators, and pioneers in the industry. In fact, many of the products found in other stores were found first at Simply Natural. Simply Natural, 7 days a week at 8271 Sunset Strip in Sunrise. If you can't get to them, they'll ship to you. Most orders over $85 ship free. Call them at 954-741-4045. That's 954-741-4045. Or visit them online at esimplynatural.com. Simply Natural, for 25 years, not just a health food store, an experience. It's that time of year again, and this season is expected to be the worst ever for seasonal allergies from trees, grass, and flowers. It's enough to make you want to stay indoors. But what if you have animals? Yikes! Finally, an alternative to Claritin and Allegra. Hybrid AR Rapid Nasal and Sinus Support will provide fast, effective benefit in just 20 minutes, regardless of the allergy. Don't let another spring or summer day go by without allergy freedom. Ask for Hybrid AR Rapid Nasal and Sinus Support or the yellow box found first, as always, at Simply Natural. Under the weather? Not feeling great? Here comes wellness to the rescue. Hybrid CR Rapid Immune Defense is the first all-natural supplement created by a pharmacist designed to support your immune system in just 4 days. It's fast. Did I mention just 4 days? And it's made to help get rid of illnesses caused by weather, colds, and flu. Just use it for 4 days and see the results for yourself. For year-round protection, buy the larger bottle and always ask for the blue box. You will find Hybrid CR Rapid Immune Defense at Better Health food stores and always found first at Simply Natural.
This is Pearls of Health Radio. Want to order any of the products covered on this week's show or just need more information? Then call Simply Natural now at 954-741-4045. That's 954-741-4045. On the web at esimplynatural.com. Now, back to Pearls of Health Radio and Richard Pearl.
Back, you're listening to Pearls of Health on WSBR AM 740, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, iHeartRadio. And, of course, we're played, throughout the week on different stations as well, which I can't mention. But those of you who listen to us regularly know that what times it is, and we're on, like I said, throughout the week. Now, our guest today is somebody I had on once before. This is a revolutionary product that he's involved in. This is something that is unlike anything else, and I'll get to it right away, but I just want to introduce him properly, and I'm excited to have him on again. His name is Mladen Diklic, and he's an inventor. He's got patents worldwide that are used by Samsung and Philips and many other companies, Apple and Sony and so forth. And we could go into all that, but he's been involved in really strong science. He's been involved in many different areas of technology, some of it even unpatented, where he's doing remarkable things. And he was using a product called Carbon 60, and I'll let him tell more, because we're going to get right into the science of why this stuff is better, and we're also going to get into what it actually does. So we'll get into both parts, and then we're going to come up with a follow-up guest after that, the man who introduced me to Carbon 60, at least this version of it. So without any further ado, let's bring on Mladen. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, good morning, Richard. It's a pleasure to talk with you again, and thank you for the nice introduction.
Well, you know, you're really quite remarkable. I mean, you're an inventor, but you also, as an inventor and as an engineer, you have to be precise. You have to have clarity as to why something works and how it should perform in all areas. And when we had you on last time, I love some of the things that you said. I've quoted them many times because they make sense to me. We were talking about how the Carbon 60 was created, and you said, well, you know, these biologists, they don't know how to make it. And you did because of your background. So your precision made a difference, and we'll get into that in a moment. But I want you to explain, what is Carbon 60? Because most of the population doesn't know what it is, and even though I do, I want to make sure that they do. So go ahead. Tell them what Carbon 60 is.
Well, it's a really tiny molecule, about 1 nanometer in diameter. But what it is, it's a cluster of 60 carbon atoms. And it's the shape of a Buckminster Fullerene or a soccer ball. It's this shape that allows it to bond very well, and for some reason or another, it turns out to be like a black hole for free radicals. I don't know why. I'm not a biologist, but it's a very, very powerful molecule. It's got very high conductive properties. This is how I found to use it.
You were using it on, not on a medical side. You were using it on a technological side.
Yes. We were using it to create a higher conductivity rate in polymers for photovoltaics and for this fingerprint biometric devices that we were developing. But regarding patents, the reason that I don't like to patent, you only patent when you have an investor throwing in money into a project, and it's just to protect the investor. Otherwise, it's best to keep everything a trade secret.
Okay.
Like for example, there's a method to prevent to prevent coagulation or aggregation of these particles so they don't flocculate, like clump together and fall out of suspension.